Getting started with EventReference. When you are logged into EventReference and have at least one event, you will see a list of events on the main screen. EventReference is designed to be like a desktop application, so when you see a grid of records in the main part of the screen, you single click on a record to highlight it and double click on a record to open it. Double clicking on the test event record will take me into that event. The EventReference screen is divided into three main areas. The first area is at the top right of the screen. This shows me who I'm logged in as and has buttons for logout and to take me back to the list of my events. The second area is the menu on the left side of the screen. This allows me to navigate between the major sections of the system. In this menu, I'm going to click into Registrations, which will probably be the part of the system you use most. Now we can look at the main part of the screen. This is the area where information is displayed. It's also where search fields and toolbar buttons are shown. In this section of the screen, you will normally single click to highlight a record and double click to open the record. In this case, double clicking the record opens the delegate details screen in a new tab. Clicking the Cancel button closes the tab again. The registration screen can be customized to your personal preferences. First, let's take a look at the Data Fields toolbar button. Clicking it opens a list of the data fields that exist in this event. You can select whichever fields you want to appear in the registrations list grid. You can also drag those fields to reorder the columns in the grid. Here, I'm selecting a few extra columns and also dragging the attendee type column to be the first one in the grid. When you've made the changes you want, click Apply Now and the grid will update. To continue personalizing your view, you can resize the grid columns. Once you have everything as you like, click the Set as Default button. This will open a window which has another option. In this case, just click the Update Defaults button. Now, because I've stored my personal defaults, I can reload the page and everything stays as I want. If you don't set as default, then reloading the page will revert back to the defaults you had before. Next, we'll look at attendee type filtering. We can change between viewing all attendee types and viewing specific attendee types. In this case, I've changed to only view exhibitors, and the attendee types button has a number 1 at the top right to indicate that I've only got one attendee type selected. When I switch back to view all attendee types, the number will disappear. You can also change the sort order of the grid. By default, it will show by descending date registered, which means the most recent registration is at the top of the list. In this example, I'm going to change it to order by ascending last name then first name. This means that A will be at the top of the list and Z at the bottom. Because I haven't set as default, if I reload the page I would lose this sort order. The next option we're going to look at is delegate status. The system is highly configurable and this feature is generally used for more advanced setups, but by default a delegate will have a status of incomplete online registration until they finish registering and complete once they have finished. You can see everyone in the system by selecting any attendee status. Next, we will look at the powerful filtering tools. Click Data Filters and then click Add Filter. A box will pop up with a lot of different options. In this example, I'm going to set up a simple filter that will show me records where the last name begins with A. Clicking the Apply Filters button makes the grid update. In this case, the count at the bottom changes from 500 to 62. I can use the buttons at the bottom right of the screen to move between pages of results. It is also possible to easily edit a filter to change the results. For example, changing it so that the last name starts with B. Clicking the trash can icon next to the filter will delete that filter, after which I need to click the Apply Filters button again. The magnifying glass icon next to the search field also applies the filters. The search field is more general. By default, it will search the delegate's first name, last name and company name. Using this, we can search for full or partial names. Searching for AB returns names with AB anywhere in them. If we search for the word Enter, then it finds any records that have the word Enter anywhere in their name. If there is only one letter entered in the search field, then the system will only find names that begin with that letter. Using these tools and filters, it is possible to easily build your own comprehensive reports. To demonstrate, I'll set up a filter where the company name has to contain the text Ltd. I'll also change the attendee status to only show completed registrations. Next, I click the Store as Report button and enter the name I want the report to be stored as. All of the criteria I set have now been stored as a single report which can be run against the database at any point in the future. On the left-hand menu, I click on Reports List and I'll see any reports I've stored. I can also single click on the report and then click the Add to Favorites button on the toolbar. A green tick appears in the Favorite column to show that my action was successful. Now when I go back to registrations, an extra drop-down list has appeared on the menu called Run Favorite Report. If I open that list and select the Limited Companies report, the system will now apply all of my filters and preferences as they were defined when I stored that report. This means I can easily change between views of my registration data. EventReference is an extremely powerful yet easy to use system. We've barely scratched the surface of what it can do in this introduction video, so please check out some of our other videos at eventreference.com.